Good late afternoon. How are we doing today, guys? Why is YouTube stream like 10 seconds behind the Kick stream? Because the real true Destiny fans watch me and support me on kick.com/Destiny. Okay? That's where the real fans are. Don't be a fake fan. Thoughts on the new court? I am currently searching for any high school girls from the ages of 14 to 16, because apparently that's who you need to hire to write briefs to submit to the court. Jesus. I don't think we have a chance to brief a brief. I think we got to submit our filing, and then I think they get to do their reply. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how far you can like stretch the fabric of like the court before they just like completely throw everything out of the whatever, because I don't know, they just keep adding so much more random crazy stuff. But I don't know. I guess we'll see. I don't know if I'll read their filing today or not. We'll see.
What?
Wait, there's a new iDubbbz video? Content deputy. Uh-oh. When is the ruling on the PI stuff? Well, since it's just a preliminary injunction now and not a TRO, I think that it can be anywhere from 2 weeks to 6 months. I don't know if I think it can just be whenever. So, fortunately, it'll take a while. The annoying thing is that there was a chance. I don't know how good the chance is. It's hard to estimate probability on any of it. But there's like a chance that the entire case could get tossed as a result of the PI hearing if the recommendation is to ditch the preliminary injunction, but then also if the magistrate judge agrees that there is no subject matter jurisdiction because they don't have anything that fits the statute, whatever they're alleging is not in the range of the dates or whatever. But now they've brought on more random stuff to try to make it seem like that is the case. But we don't get a chance to reply to that brief that they filed, so we just wait for the magistrate judge now, and then we just keep moving on, I think. Good times.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Content Deputy. Now normally in a Content Deputy I would dance around in my cop outfit in the woods.
So did they withhold that until now on purpose? That's not a real thing, I think. That's like a TV thing, like the surprise witness or the surprise or whatever. Technically, anything that they shouldn't be adding more stuff to the suit because it wasn't initially part of the pleadings, right? If you consider, you know, like a person's due process, or if you consider the rights of people who are accused of stuff or sued, like all of the information is kind of supposed to be there in the complaint, and then you can go back and forth through your pleading stage, your discovery phase, or whatever. But it's not supposed to be like, well, in our last second reply, literally filed by apparently somebody having a seizure because they try to file the same paperwork like 20 times. Okay, in their last minute reply, they now have like another random affidavit from somebody and then another thing. And I don't know. I'm not sure how much detail I'm going to go into here because I don't want to reveal, I guess, my legal strategy. Like if I believe that the other side is just willing to literally make shit up. I don't know. I don't know. I'll think about it, but we'll see. Do you think Hassan was playing word games with what counts as happening on October 7th? For example, a mass assault happened on the 8th. Would he say mass rape didn't happen on October 7th? No, the claim is that there might have been a rape or two, but it wasn't an organized mass rape as done by Hamas. That's the claim that the lefties usually go with. Oh, this literally came out like 3 minutes ago. What the fuck? Damn.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Content Deputy. Now normally in a Content Deputy I would dance around in my cop outfit in the woods, but this video isn't going to have any of that fanfare. We're just going to get straight into it. I was hoping...
Fuck. Let's watch this and then I'll answer more questions about this. Or I'll just answer this last one. I'll do more questions about it after this. When you're doing a lawsuit, do you come up with the strategy yourself, or do your lawyers come up with it? Always the lawyers. All I do is I'm willing to read a bunch. So like if the plaintiff cites cases, like I'll read it because I think a lot of the underlying material is kind of funny. Because like the cases that they cite to, all of the cases involving the statute that they're bringing in to try to sue me under, the defendants are legitimately fucking unhinged. So like they'll cite like, oh well, you could see that like a judge very clearly granted a preliminary injunction in this case. Diaz versus Hernandez, I think, was one of them. And if you read the alleged behavior, it's unhinged. Like the defendant there would be like a guy who's like mass sending like videos taken to like family and friends of the plaintiff because she won't respond to him because he's still trying to date her, and then he's like threatening to kill himself, and then he's like trying to send it to like college. It's like it's legitimately fucking unhinged behavior. And I'm like, why are you citing these underlying cases? The fact pattern is not even remotely similar here. Holy shit. And neither is the evidence nor the defenses in either case too, but I don't know, it's fine. Whatever. Okay.
That if I made a video about Ethan, he would act like an adult and he would keep the attacks directed at me and Anissa. Unfortunately, I was wrong in thinking that because Ethan...
I'm sorry, bro. I need to go into school. I'm gonna retire from this dog shit work. This is such a stupid statement to make. I thought the responses would be just about me and Anissa. First of all, Anissa wasn't even part of your video. And secondly, all the other people were in your video. Why would you expect the response to only be at you when you brought in all the other people? What?
If I made a video about Ethan, he would act like an adult and he would keep the attacks directed at me and Anissa. Unfortunately, I was wrong in thinking that because Ethan, in a desperate attempt to attack and smear Anissa and I, he started attacking our charity event.
I don't know if you know this, but the last year they lost $250,000. To be charitable, you actually have to give money to charity, Hassan. You have to give money to be charity. It's like a slush fund for them.
Ethan and Hila are well aware that we raised $1.3 million for charity the first year of Creator Clash. The second year we operated at a loss, and I take full responsibility for that. We did band together. The community and the fighters involved ended up raising $175,000 for charity. It's been really disheartening to see how often Ethan will attack Creator Clash through us or attack us through Creator Clash.
Ian and Anissa, masters of putting on an event.
I need to be more I gotta do it. I'm gonna do it. I'll figure this out. I will figure this out. I need to be more shameless. I need to be more shameless. I need to do more. I need to do like a dono driver charity event. I have to just plug. This is so shameless that you would hide behind a charity so much. You're not supposed to do this shit just to make your bullshit attacks on other people unassailable. It's such a bullshit.
He's reposting random troll accounts that are very easy to vet. If you click on this profile, it has a bunch of Sam Hyde adjacent posts, and it just hates Anissa and I. Come on, dude. You're one step away from Hyde adjacent posts, and it just hates Anissa and I. Come on, it has a bunch of Sam Hyde adjacent posts, and it just hates Anissa and I. Come on, dude.
Okay, you should have went through that whole account to check to see if that person also tweeted. Okay.
Dude, you're one step away from calling me a cuck. Just take...
Like, you're one step away from calling me a cuck because you screenshotted a reply underneath a tweet that's joking, or the guy is saying that you didn't give a refund for a thing, and then you didn't go through that guy's entire post history. Remember what I said before? There are some things I will continue to harp on, and this is going to be one of them. Different standards. Keep in mind the different standards, right? On their side... All right. I don't know anything about H3 Snark or any of these the CPS claims or any of that. I don't know anything about it. And then on Ethan's side, you posted a screenshot of somebody underneath Anissa's tweet, and you didn't even go through that person's Twitter history to see what else they might have tweeted, to see if it would have been improper to quote them in like a thing, even though, like, Jesus.
Take the plunge. He's highlighting this post that equates Creator Clash to a crypto rug pull. He's saying the event is going to be worse than TanaCon. Can't wait for them to blame us for their failed event. Don't worry, Hila. I'm not going to blame you guys for anything Creator Clash related. I know you're terrified of taking accountability for anything, so that will rest solely on my shoulders. But I can't speak for the internet. The internet might actually blame you guys for it. Now, with this recent revelation...
What the fuck? What? I would never call you an actual cuck who likes to watch his wife sell pictures of herself on OnlyFans and change his entire political opinion to match it. But the rest of the internet might say that. What is this? This is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my entire life.
Escalation that people are just going to use Creator Clash to attack Anissa and I. Anissa and I have decided to step away from Creator Clash. We have relinquished control to our business partners who ran the previous 2 events. They're very capable. They know exactly what they're doing. They run events on a regular basis. The event is still happening. Anissa and I just don't have any financial ties. We don't have any ownership.
Hold on, wait. I'm so sorry. One quick thing, and I'll stop holding. If I want to get legendary tungsten bars, what's the best way to do it? Is it recycling ore until I get legendary ore, or is it recycling bars until I get legendary bars? Okay.
We are, you know, I think just going to be known as the founders of the event. Yeah, I mean, I think it had to come to this eventually.
That's crazy, dog.
I can't keep my mouth shut. I can't, I mean, I can. I just didn't want to. I want to be frank. I want to be honest. I was very quiet during the second Creator Clash because I was afraid of how that would impact.
Oh, yeah, also this. Anissa, are you serious? Can you put quality modules in miners? Every miner is a quality. This thing, they go to this all the time. Is this person on drugs? Is this person on drugs? Really?
Other people. This year I said I'm going to do something different. I'm going to fight back if someone's trying to attack me. So that's what I did. And now I've realized, like, I can't really have my cake and eat it too. It's either you're going to talk shit like a foul beast on the internet, or you're going to have a charity event. You know, it really can't be both. I'm very proud of the event that we made with Creator Clash. It's still happening, June 28th. I'm just not going to be involved in it. Please, for the love of God, support this event. You know, I feel like in some ways I'm like cutting off an arm so that I could escape the bear trap, and so I can fight. Well, that's a bad analogy. You guys get it. We've already told all the fighters.
I don't get it.
It seems like most people understand that this is the best move. If the previous content cop was entertaining to you, or this video is entertaining, or you like the
Wait, Chris in YouTube chat just said content deputy out. Can you link it?
message, the best thing that you can do for me is to support Creator Clash. Buy a ticket, buy a pay-per-view ticket, an in-person ticket, or donate to the fundraiser. I just want to see this event do well. You know, I didn't try this shit because I thought I was going to be a good boxer. I didn't think I would be an awesome event organizer. And, you know, now I'm finally back to where I started, which is making fucking content cop videos. I don't want to make this too ham-fisted, but I kind of do want to make it ham-fisted, because I'm like, I spent my last fucking 4 years working on this stupid boxing shit. I mean, it was worth it, absolutely, but like, it's crazy that I've just returned to content cop. Having said all that, Creator Clash ticket link down in the description. Go check it out, buy tickets, support the charity, support the fighters, and have a good-ass time. I mean, ultimately, I think it's a good thing, because I think I am meant to roll around in shit. I think me and Ethan are both meant to be rolling around in pig shit all day long, and other people are meant to do boxing or debating or whatever else. Ethan and me, pig shit rolling around type of fellas.
You underestimate my strength! I've got kosher strength! The will of Allah! I mean Yahweh! Yahweh!
I think the worst criticisms I labeled at Ethan is that he's a bad boss, a tyrant of a boss. I just implied that he was being taken advantage of by people either in his community or outside of his community.
This is so crazy. So much of this is so crazy. How do you maintain your sanity? I'm just, obviously, I can, because I'm a god, okay? But I'm trying to make you understand how difficult it is to maintain your sanity in the face of this kind of stuff. That was not all the video was about. The video was providing cover to all of the most unhinged shit that people have been saying about Ethan by pretending all of it has just been reasonable criticisms, and you're still engaging in the same behavior. Jesus.
And I called him a bitch-made coward. That was like the summary of personal insults labeled at Ethan. Before Ethan even knew what my video was about, he was already framing me as anti-Semitic.
But he's like, no, actually, Ethan, the fucking Jew bag. Fuck this Jew bag Zionist baby killer, guys, right?
I don't know if that's what the video is.
I'm one of you. I fucking hate Jews too, guys. Let's get after it. Israelis have no right to defend themselves, actually. All Israelis are settlers, actually. What is he going to give me a history lesson now? Is he a historian? Yeah, he just discovered empathy, by the way, and only extends to the point where you're actually talking about Jewish people or Israelis. Then empathy stops and they should all be murdered. Bro's actually out there like Timothy McVeigh. He's running to the closest fucking kindergarten to blow it up. There's a Jew. I heard there's a Jewish.
That's not what Timothy McVeigh did.
They want all you guys to quit and for me to just be like alone.
Was that an old clip? Was that supposed to prove something?
Little Jew boy alone.
Like Ethan under a year ago was saying he doesn't use anti-Semitism in that way. He's not a guy to call anything and everything anti-Semitic.
You know, in my whole life, I've never screamed foul on anti-Semitism.
By the way, same. I stayed away from this for quite a while as well, but I'm pretty sure even I've switched up on some people. I don't even know where I'm at right now. Do I say it might not be anti-Semitic necessarily, but it's indistinguishable from it? I think my position has started to even get stronger on that. But like, I mean, you can only see so much before you're like, okay, this is just really fucking weird. Like when you've got Hassan rapping, oh my God. When Hassan was like, I never said that you directly worked with the ADL. And then there's like a clip of Hassan saying, Ethan worked with the ADL. And Hassan was like, well, I just meant that you worked alongside them. And then there's another clip and Hassan's like, yeah, and Ethan partnered with the ADL. And then Hassan's like, well, I mean like, yeah, but like, I don't mean like partner like you were a partner of. And it's like, what the fuck is happening? Why is this so crazy? Yeah, I don't know, bro. These people are wild.
I literally have been getting this shit since the second I stepped foot on the internet, and I have never fucking ever done this, okay? So the people online, they're saying, oh, Ethan's making himself a victim, or Ethan's making everything about anti-Semitism. I've done this once in my life right now.
But he's like, no, actually, Ethan, the fucking Jew bag. Fuck this Jew bag Zionist baby killer, guys, right?
This is how he characterized me before even watching the video. I would have to see the full context of this to be fair. Okay, so I will say that. It is possible that maybe Ethan's comments here are a bit strong, but like, bro, you're tossing your hat in the ring of a bunch of people who have been part of like one of the largest anti-Semitic community attacks on Ethan and everybody surrounding Ethan and all of the Israel shit for over a year now. Like, are you really surprised that somebody would have this reaction? Remember, whatever happened, remember, these are the guys that told you over and over and over again, okay? And Ian is part of this crew now. These are the people that told you over and over again, there is no such thing as a table with 1 Nazi and 9 normal people. That's just a table with 10 Nazis. They said this over and over and over again. Meanwhile, this guy is at a table with 9 Nazis and he's the one normal person and he says he just happens to be there. Like, it's crazy.
I don't know if that's what the video is.
I mean, I get that he's scared and offended, but this was the whole fucking point of my video, Ethan. I was saying that you shouldn't be doing this. It led to me making this video in the first place. You were triggered by this CPS harassment thing, and then you immediately equated Anissa and I to it. That was sloppy, and that was...
Because that's what you pulled all of your clips from that video, and you didn't even mention the title of the video or what it was about.
Horrendous, and it was horrendous for us. And now you're doing it again.
I'm going to watch it live.
Should you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't care. But like, why?
Also, okay. This hurts, okay? This does hurt. This hurts, okay? I don't like to admit this, okay? I do think highly of myself, even though I try to be humble, all right? I do think highly of myself, all right? Especially when it comes to responding to things, politics, whatever the fuck else, okay? I don't think even I would watch a video like that live. I think I would review the video offline first. Like, I watched the whole Ryan Beard video offline, and then I'm thinking about, like, I'm probably Tony, I'm not sure. The fact that that content cop, I think it dropped live, and then I think Ethan watched it, I think on the same stream. That's insane, okay? That is a incredibly fucking brave, okay, set of actions for Ethan to take there. That shows an ungodly amount of confidence in his position for him to do that. I don't think I would have done that. That's wild. But Jesus.
I just don't think, I feel like you're going to get really emotional and say something you regret.
Well, I've got the button.
Like, I know you don't have a problem taking a head.
Also, I want to say this as well, and part of this is from jealousy, I guess, but Major props to Dan and all of the crew, by the way, that have stuck by Ethan, with Ethan, through all of this bullshit, because they are getting a lot of pressure externally. You don't see it. You probably don't even see a tenth of the insane amounts of crazy, unhinged, weird DMs that the H3 staff are getting. So they're getting a lot of those. They're still showing up on the show. Politically, I do think that people like Dan and them are more aligned, I think, with Hassan than with Ethan. And despite all of this, they're still there and they're still friendly and they still work for. I think that's super based. The crew here, even though I think most of them hate me, but I think these guys are super awesome. That's major props to these guys for all of that.
And on, but I just feel
Of course not, because I know that
you're
whatever-
understandably upset, and I feel like it might be a little.
Should we wait to talk about it, or you want to talk about it?
You should do it off stream. Because I don't know. This escalated initially because we were live and you guys were heated about. I forget what it was.
I just think it might be wise to watch it, think out your thoughts, and respond in a calm way. Because there's no chance that you don't get heated.
I don't need the fucking.
I will also say, too, for all the accusations of Ethan being an unhinged boss and being crazy, and also keep in mind, Ethan's been on the internet for a long time, right? He could be mega egotistical, or he could be a tyrant, or he could be a piece of shit. Not to say that like he's earned doing that, but I'm saying like he could be. It would be a lot of people that make it on the internet, you know, over time do get big egos. The fact that his staff feel comfortable like suggesting against something or pushing back against him on stream kind of seems to imply that he's not this tyrannical, horrible, evil overlord boss that people are saying that he is, right? Because Dan and who is the other guy? Is that AB? Fuck, I don't know all their names. This one, is that AB? Yeah, the fact that these guys are comfortable like recommending like, hey, you shouldn't do this. Hey, you might be making a mistake. It speaks well for all of them, I think. Yeah.
Respond in a calm way. Because there's no chance that you don't get heated.
I don't need to fucking pre-watch this. I don't need someone else to hold my hand through it. Like, I'm ready to take on anything that these people have to say about me. He's like, no, actually, Ethan, the fucking Jew bag. Fuck this Jew bag Zionist baby killer, guys. I'm one of you. I fucking hate Jews too, guys.
You attacked us, so I attacked back, and now you're acting surprised and shocked, and you're doing it all on your podcast live. So naturally, you reacting live is you having an emotional reaction and seeing things that
too, guys.
You attacked us, so I attacked back, and now you're acting surprised and shocked, and you're doing it all on your podcast live. So naturally, you reacting live is you having an emotional reaction and seeing things that honestly are scary.
I just said I vented about them not defending me. What the fuck?
It's like so gross, and I hate that like nobody can view things reasonably, and it's all just like who's got the power, right? Who are the more popular people at whatever point in time. But like you really do need to see that this is some insane this weaponization of psych language, of whatever else the fuck you want to call it. This weaponizing all of this shit to be like, oh, like you know, you were being emotional, you were having an outburst or whatever. This is unbelievably. It's like delegitimizing, or it's robbing you of your agency, or it's making you feel crazy. Like it's all very gross the way that Ian talks about Ethan.
Fuck is he like? He's actually losing his shit and I just can't believe it, dude.
Should you call him up?
So go fuck yourself.
I agree. Fair weather friends who are.
Okay, I didn't know that. I'm sorry. I will flip on Gila. That was unhinged. What did she say? Go fuck yourself? I didn't realize that she was having such an insane fucking outburst on that live stream. So maybe Gila was out of line. I don't know. Maybe we'll see for Ethan. That was crazy.
So go fuck yourself.
Holy shit. Jesus. Okay, I didn't know she said that. Wow. My bad.
I agree. Fair weather friends who are so happy to be friends as long as they're getting something out of it.
Oh my God. Okay. Jesus.
Ian sucks for the same reason right now. He could say something.
Spineless.
Spineless? Ethan's wife is unhinged, and Ethan's wife's husband is losing it. Okay, I must not have watched the stream this day. Jeez, these are crazy.
Our POV is like, fuck everybody, and I don't want to hear any excuses. You're not my friend, and you never were, and you never will be. You never will be.
Wow.
What's very insane about this content cop is
Is that really? Bro, are you serious? Oh my God. Okay.
was thinking about Ethan's feelings so much in that video. I thought about the idea of like how I shouldn't be saying the term Zionist or Zionism in that.
Wait. And I was thinking about their feelings. This video is not their response to you, though, right? This was the CPS video. What? It sounds like he's implying that this video was his live reaction. Am I? Okay. There you go. Got him.
Were, and you never will be. You never will be.
What's very insane about this content cop is I was thinking about Ethan's feelings so much in that video. I thought about the idea of like how I shouldn't be saying the term Zionist or Zionism in that video because I was like, he has explained before that that's personally insulting to him and he doesn't like. He has like about Ethan's.
Never will be.
What's very insane about this content cop is I was thinking about Ethan's feelings so much in that video.
Wake up, Ethan. Wake up. Time to be awake, Ethan.
Wake up, Ethan.
This is no longer a dream. This is a nightmare. Wake up.
Ethan, the dumb bitch is telling you to wake up.
Wake up.
Ethan, wake up.
Wake up, Ethan.
Ethan, wake up.
Friend, and you never were, and you never will be.
What?
You never will be.
What's very insane about this content cop is I was thinking about Ethan's feelings so much in that video.
Since anyone? Just wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up, Ethan.
I'm not gonna do a react content yet, chat.
I'm the same kid.
I thought about the idea of like how I shouldn't be saying the term Zionist or Zionism in that video because I was like, he has explained before that that's personally insulting to him and he doesn't like that. You know, regardless of how true it is, I was like, I'm going to think about Ethan's feelings and not mention this. Fast forward to
Regardless of how true it is. What the fuck? This is like this is the most like manipulative, emotionally mindfucky set of statements I've ever heard in my life. What the fuck?
him reacting to my video, he's just outright calling me a fucking Nazi.
Is it a coincidence that Ian really shaved his head just before doing this video and he's holding a swastika one? I mean, we can free Palestine without being a Nazi. You fucking Nazis. How about that? Well, this is the white savior, Ian, who's just found empathy, unless you're Jewish, of course.
This comparison is not remotely similar, okay? Calling somebody a Nazi because you think that they're a Nazi or whatever, you can argue whether or not that's good or bad, by the way, is a lot different than calling a Jewish person a Zionist when they've been getting anti-Semitic attacks against them for over a year by a bunch of people who are, at the very least, indistinguishable from anti-Semites, if not actually anti-Semitic themselves. These are different types of things, right?
Ethan, people are allowed to shave their head and not be called anti-Semitic. I mean, if you're going to critique his...
I don't think it was the shaving the head thing that was setting him off there, swastika sword buddy. I think it's the fact that you chose that fucking sword and decided to pose with it. Which, by the way, based, okay, if that was intentional, then I think that's Giga Chad, okay? I fucking go full send, dude. All right, I'm a child of the early internet. We know what era you come from, okay? Don't tell me the guy who did the content cop on Tana, okay? And the guy who roamed the big bad streets of YouTube with fucking Leafy, all right? Doesn't understand the implication of choosing the fucking swastika sword. Come on.
Podcast or be pissed off that he personally insulted you. Even that is enough to be called anti-Semitic. It's fucking crazy. Now, I don't want to talk about Hassan's sword. I don't want to talk about Hassan's sword hilt because Ethan himself basically admitted already multiple times he doesn't think any of us did that intentionally. And he would be right.
Do I think any of them actually like wanted to put a swastika in the photo? No,
Yeah,
that's...
Well, hold on. I would have to check the dates. Also, I would just full on disagree with Ethan here. But it might be that, was Ethan saying this before he had clips of Hassan literally calling it the swastika sword? Because that kind of changes things. Because I think, I don't know what my reaction was, but my guess is I would probably say the same thing. Like, I doubt did they really choose a swastika? They probably should have been aware of it, but did they really know? But then when clips of Hassan coming out and going like, wow, that sword sure is sus. That's a swastika. Well, that changes things pretty significantly, no?
No, I don't actually think that. The chances that they...
Oh, he finds clip 2 minutes after that? Yeah, this is such a... whatever.
Put a swastika in the photo? No,
Yeah,
that's... no, I don't actually think that. The chances that they did on purpose is close to zero, right? So I'm not accusing them.
I picked up a random sword in Hassan's room that was laying around. That could be the end of the discussion. You don't...
Really, though? Does he have swords just laying on his fucking... floor? What is this guy, the fucking Last Samurai? What are you talking about? Come on. You didn't look at anything? You just picked up the first thing that shined? And you were like, oh, I'm gonna
Don't actually need to debate Hassan about the sword hilt.
He left
the
it up.
decision making.
If it was a mistake, he could have deleted it.
But I'm not going to delete the photo because that would be indulging in your weird anti-Semitic fantasies.
We can free Palestine without being a Nazi. You fucking Nazis. How about that?
I'm done being nice to Ethan. I gave it a chance.
Yeah, really? Did you?
My sincerity and my empathy in that last video was real. I was even equating to him having crash out moments in the same way that denims could have crash out moments. I think we're all capable of it, but he was using it in the video to suggest that I was making fun of his mental health.
To my good friend Ian of 8 years, I really appreciate you weaponizing my mental health against me.
To make Ethan crash out. He's having a parasocial weird crash out. People can have crash out moments. Maybe if Ethan's able to get some help. Dude, I'm not making fun of your mental health. Every example you used was me basically saying that other people are trying to affect you. It's understandable that you're going through this right now, Ethan. We all go through this.
To characterize anything I'm doing as crashing out, that I need help, that I need to get some kind of treatment, is cruel and pathetic on a level I didn't think he would ever be possible of doing.
Every fucking example that you tried to smear me with was me actually pointing to something else that could be affecting you. He even brought up the clip of me saying, if you get help. We all need help. Everyone on this...
Dude, it's such a joke. Please tell me his audience can see how disingenuous this is. When I said we need help, I mean, like, well, don't we all need help? There's nothing wrong with that statement. We all need help. Everybody needs a little bit of help, right?
Planet needs help. I don't care how you get it. You can wander into the jungle and go on an ayahuasca trip. I don't care how you get your help or what you define as help. But if it helps you, that would be good. Because right now it doesn't seem like you're getting much help. The main criticism that I was seeing online with my video from Ethan and Hila is that I didn't mention the CPS call.
There's really just one central point that I want to make here. My good friend Ian, in his hour-long takedown, did not mention one time Child Protective Services. Not one time.
There was not even one mention of CPS.
And a lot of the clips he uses is us fired up from the day that CPS came to us.
So, like,
without even explaining that at least that's the context, it's pretty cowardly.
I wonder why I wouldn't mention the CPS call. Could it be that the CPS call happened the same day that you were shit-talking me, and I didn't have any chance to defend myself? You just immediately, in the same pod...
You literally sourced the video where he's talking about it for the entirety of your content cut. What is he even talking about? What?
Podcast right next to each other said, CPS call was very traumatic. And then you said, fuck Ian and Anissa. And you linked those together, you kind of layered those flavors, and then Anissa and I got a bunch of harassment. We had nothing to do with the CPS call. What are all these fucking...
Sure, maybe you didn't, but all the other people that you kind of brought into your video did. And it was the fact that you seemed to be co-signing their opinions, which you now admitted in your content cop you were. Because you called Ethan crazy for assuming that your silence meant that you were supporting their statements. And then in your content cop, you came out and said you were silent because you support their statements.
Comments on your Reddit saying, like, it happened because of the CPS call. I don't entirely blame your audience for getting confused because number one, it's a fucking cult. And number two, you can't even get the timeline straight. So if anyone's watching your dumbass, their brain is also going to get scrambled.
Be friends as long as they're getting something out of it. So again, he's not showing the context. What was the okay, I'll play this part. Did you guys ever find the context of what I was talking about here? Because I feel like I wasn't even talking about him. I could be wrong. I just don't remember ever saying, like, if I did say that,
I thought you were talking about them, about Anissa and Ian in that clip.
That's the same clip of
it's all the
when
part of the same
CPS was
clip.
called.
Yeah.
Same clip.
It's part of the same conversation.
You completely wiped your brain of what happened during the CPS stream. That's not my fucking fault. That's no one else's fault but yours.
All I wanted for you to do was say the bare minimum of like, hey, this is fucked up. This is not true about CPS, whatever, like the bare minimum. It came up because they were talking about it on their fucking podcast. By the way, they're the ones that like started this conversation by talking about it on the podcast. Be like, hey, I'm not getting involved.
I think that was their response after you guys initially called them out.
This is what I was talking about. You cannot have something terrible happen, be like, yes, let's make some content, and then shit talk your friends of 8 years.
I'm so fired up.
Let's make some content?
Don't even know what to do with myself, which is why I'm crying. On the other hand, I don't know if that's a good state to be in life.
That's the kind of spitting.
And a lot of the clips he uses is us fired up from the day that CPS came to us.
For anyone confused about the timeline, Ethan was talking shit about us on his Instagram before any CPS shit. He was also talking shit about us on his podcast before any CPS visit. On March 7th, CPS visits.
Hey, dipshit! If you think he was talking shit about you before any of that happened, why didn't you include that in your fucking video then? Why are you bringing it up now, motherfucker? What the fuck?
Ethan and Hila, and that same day, they decide, let's do our podcast, and let's have the topic be the CPS visit and how distraught we are about that. And then right next to that, right after it, you guys talk about me and Anissa. But you don't just talk about us. You shit talk.
Wow. Let's talk about some crazy event that's happening. And then right after that, let's talk about how we feel like friends that were people that we thought were friends are supporting this crazy event. What a completely and totally disconnected set of facts. What?
Talk us, and you imply that we're friends with people who are doing this, who are the ones who are harassing you.
Do you have evidence that H3 Snark called CPS on you?
Did I say
like
that?
Random anonymous Redditors?
Did I say that?
Wait, what's the...
I said they're primary responsible for harassing me.
Who called CPS?
I think a big part of all this confusion is Ethan unwilling to admit that there isn't a literal genocide happening and the idea for not literal terrorists. He caved on those points so quickly to avoid conflict and is forcing to fight back from other angles besides... I mean, but to fight back on those angles, it's such a losing argument on like the wokey internet, and it requires like a level of understanding of things. It's just too much for these people. Like, I don't know.
What the fuck? So, I don't know.
To be honest, I'm very proud that I didn't immediately jump to Ethan and Hila's defense, because when you look into the story, it actually looks a lot shittier for Ethan and Hila. And I do mean that literally. There was this H3 stream where...
Oh no, and now he's gonna repeat the same attacks! No shot. No shot. He's not about to, is he?
Where Ethan was dumping as per usual. He was talking about his own health. He was talking about his caca breath, his dog having diarrhea, his dog having giardia.
Olive has giardia. It's a bacterial infection in the intestines that makes you have diarrhea.
His child running around putting things in their mouth.
Sonny's crawling around. He's putting everything in his mouth. He's at that age. He has giardia.
The whole family possibly having giardia.
Oh,
and now Hila has giardia.
Shut. For real?
And now I think this morning I had diarrhea.
Oh my god.
Jeez, what can I do to not get it from you?
I'm trying to...
Because I'm not trying to get it.
No, it's extremely ridiculous to get. You have to ingest my poop.
Talking about the viscosity of his child's shit.
And although meanwhile he is covered in viscous, low viscosity diarrhea.
He mentioned diarrhea a lot.
Crazy diarrheas like
based. So the CPS call was justified. Based. Also, I don't know the answer here and I'm too lazy to look it up. So where are my doctors at? Okay. Did for contracting stuff that's like bowel related, isn't a lot of the stuff from pets? Can't you just like get it because like dogs and stuff poop outside and then they sit on furniture and stuff? Do you have to actually like, I don't know if you have to actually ingest their fucking shit to do it. I have no idea. But also, did they actually have giardia 100%, or was this even confirmed, or did they just have like a fucking stomach flu or something? They never even had giardia? Oh, okay. Well,
like in the middle of the night, all the time he's having these crazy diarrheas. You wash your hands as best you can, but these are really nasty diarrheas. And then extremely foul smelling diarrheas.
So of course, Ethan, having made so many enemies over the years, other people react to his content. And when other people see that he's talking about his children getting giardia from dog poop.
Sonny's crawling around. He's putting everything in his mouth. He's at that age. He has giardia.
Okay, so I know that Ian is about to justify people making content about this. Is Ian really going to say, so of course, people who saw this felt concerned and called CPS? He's not going to justify the CPS call, though, right? He's just going to justify the content. He wouldn't justify the CPS call, right?
People are quite reasonably concerned. And so, yes. anyone who's seeing that content might be concerned enough to call CPS.
Somebody should do a content cop on him and how the human mind can change watching your wife do OnlyFans. Sam Hyde was 100% right. I am a Nazi now. Okay, I become a he did it. Ian pushed me. I'm there. I renounce every bad thing I said. I am a full-on Sam Hyde neo-Nazi fan. He's got a good aesthetic anyway. Okay, he did it. I'm there. Sorry, Israel. Well, actually, fuck you guys now anyway, because you all are Trump supporters anyway. So, this is unreal. It's unreal.
Including Ethan's own chat, which, by the way, is not a measly number. It's about 26,000 at the time of this stream. So there are 26,000 people listening to Ethan go into great detail over 7 or 8 minutes about...
How long ago was this, though? How long ago was the Giardia stuff? When did the CPS call happen? Why didn't CPS show up until after, was it Bad Empanada? Who was the first one to start floating the CPS stuff?
Diarrhea, viscosity of diarrhea, his child having Giardia, him and his whole family having Giardia. They're calling it the poop house. Now, what Ethan does, instead of taking any responsibility for sharing too much on his live stream, is that he decides to attack specific creators like Denims and say she was the source of the CPS call because her chat was reacting to Ethan and saying, wow, this is concerning.
Is on her platform right now advocating for our children to be forcibly removed from us by Child Protective Services.
The problem with this CPS thing is that Ethan has proven to be a manipulative piece of shit. So when he calls on me to defend him, what the fuck am I meant to do? I don't trust you, and I'm glad I didn't trust you, because in your video defending yourself, you used a video that takes context from like 3 different places and combines them to make...
Yeah, that's what context is, you fucking retard. Context is looking at the totality of things that people have said to create a consistent, like, narrative or theme. It's not taking one fucking quote and saying, this is everything that happened. Why he's defining context. What the fuck is wrong with this guy? Holy shit.
Make it seem like someone is coordinating an attack on you.
Love made a good point. You said, is this every comment? I believe this is a live feed of the chat. This isn't edited.
What about the top right? I thought these were
No,
selected.
it's this, I think when you full screen it. No, this is an edit. It's a cutout of the full chat. It's just enlarged there.
Oh, really?
Over the screen, yeah.
They're different, I think.
Yeah.
It's not timed. It's not timed the same way.
But it sounds like based on this clip, you knew that it was bullshit and you just went with it anyway. Ethan Klein uses this very deceptively edited video that is just like doing this smooth scroll to make it seem like that's all of Denim's chat.
Apparently, all those messages came from chat that day. They just cut out the irrelevant ones. So you could say it's a condensed version, sure. But, I mean, it's nothing material is that different. It's just they didn't include every single message. They just showed you all the ones related to the CPS thing.
But that's not what it is. And then when he's called out on it, he hides it. He moves his window over the real chat.
Also, this is not a joking matter, by the way. It can be very severe and deadly to small children. I mean, much like many other illnesses.
Reading the chat, co-signing
it's very,
it.
very, very dangerous.
Now pay attention.
Wait, where else was he supposed to put his camera? They want to read what's on the bottom left. Do you really think he's trying to smoothly...
Real chat.
Also,
is he really trying to smoothly just cover up one part and hope that nobody on his 20, 30,000 view stream notices?
This is not a joke.
Reading the chat, co-signing
it. It's
it.
very, very, very dangerous.
Now pay attention to her
actually
chat.
Have a housekeeper anymore, or perhaps he lost his extra housekeeper. So now the house is just like covered in dog shit. And he has kids, and his kids like...
Why does it have to be anyone else's fault but your own? Take some fucking responsibility. It's just so bizarre that Ethan would expect Anise and I to make a statement when Denims herself already made a statement about it and said that she does not condone calling CPS.
So we're talking about CPS. 1, I don't condone. 2, I've never condoned it, and you will not be able to find a clip of me saying, yes, we should do this, because it doesn't exist. I've literally given Ethan Klein credit on multiple times, or multiple instances, and I will do it again right now, for not showing photos of his kids.
Part of my criticisms of Ethan initially was the openness. I think
somebody said Ethan doesn't control his cam placement on the show. Is that true?
It's a problem that you are that open, Ethan.
Well, you know I'm very open about everything as part of how I wanted to conduct myself and how I wanted to relate. Now, at this point, as he continues, notice the chat is almost in complete universal agreement. Call CPS. called child endangerment. CPS, social services. Bro needs to unironically call CPS. That's child endangerment. Okay, if his kids have Giardia, they need to be taken away. Actual worst father ever, etc., etc. I'll let the chat play for you, but you can see just how crazy this community is. And once again, this is Denham's chat from the 1st. The call came on the 3rd.
No wonder his house is covered in dog shit, and his neglected children raised by nannies have contracted parasites previously unknown to science from the feces. I wonder why he skipped over all of this, because everything that he said, everything that he said in this story, which by the way was apparently compiled by his crew.
No wonder this motherfucker's always sick. Yeah, it all makes sense now.
By the way, these people can't keep their talking points straight. On one hand, it's we don't raise our kids and our house is just run by nannies and housekeepers. But on the other hand, we also keep our house so dirty that there's dog shit everywhere. I mean, what are the housekeepers and nannies doing?
It all makes sense now. It makes sense why he doesn't care about Palestinian children when he is neglecting his own. How is this happening? How is this happening? How is this happening?
I have a 10-month-old, a 5-year-old, and a 3-year-old who are in school. Of course, I'm sick all the time. Once again, these childless people pretend that this is uncommon when, of course, anybody with any sense who's being honest. The thing is, these people are knowingly lying. They know that they're lying. It makes no sense what they're saying, but they do it anyway. Because, as you can see in the chat, and Denham's endorses this, clearly, as you can see, she's not moderating this at all. And it's pretty much 100% of the comments saying call CPS on them. Their kids should be taken away. That she believes that it's justified to break up our family. This disgusting fucking human being who's endorsed by Hassan and the entire left community on Twitch, who is protected and elevated by Twitch, is on her platform right now advocating for our children to be forcibly removed from us by child protective...
Somebody said this gave the timeline.
Services.
Okay, don't know. All right.
Relate to the audience.
No, fuck. That was the video.
Credit on multiple times or multiple instances, and I will do it again right now, for not showing photos of his kids.
Part of my criticisms of Ethan initially was the openness. I think it's a problem that you were that open, Ethan.
Well, you know I'm very open about everything. It's part of how I wanted to conduct myself and how I wanted to relate to the audience, is to be open as possible about every fucking thing in my life.
It is not strictly a benefit to be as open as possible on your podcast.
Ethan was just sharing his thoughts.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh my God. I bet Ethan didn't know that. Ian, you're a master content creator. Jeez, nobody understands. Thank you.
That's what we were thinking. We were speculating.
Sonny's crawling around. He's putting everything in his mouth. He's at that age. He has Giardia.
We were speculating.
Oh,
and now Ela has Giardia.
Shut.
Be open as possible about every fucking thing in my life.
Yeah, really? How many siblings do you have? I don't know, dude. The internet's too fucking weird to give out all that information.
Oh, you don't even want to say how many because you're afraid that...
And then he brings up this train wreck podcast. What is this, 10 years old? How old is this one? Okay.
It will
by all means, keep talking about it.
On top of Ethan characterizing me and my wife as anti-Semitic, he also takes a dig at my tattoos.
Bro, you literally look like a fucking free tattoo pack that you get for 25 cents from a windy thing, bro. Like, literally, my kids have cooler fucking tattoos from Chuck E. Cheese. Bro looks like he just went to the menu and was like, I'll take that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one.
I have quite a few options here. I can show your tattoos in all of their glory, or I can show that your tattoo made it to the top of awful taste but great execution subreddit, which is not a good thing. I mean, it might be a good thing for the artists that you work with, because that means...
Why do you think he literally says that was too far, pretty sure? Okay, sure, but like... Hold on, now I have to think. It's so hard, the theory of mind thing I said, it's been so hard with so many of these people. I can't tell if these comments these are real comments or if he's just being intentionally retarded. I don't think, I'm taking a guess here, I don't think Ethan would rank insults about his tattoos on the same level as suggesting that you call child protective services. Like, I seriously doubt Ethan would have a huge crash out if you said your tattoos are ugly. Now, maybe he would. I don't know. My guess is going to be he probably would treat those things a little bit differently, but you know.
That they did a good job from a technical standpoint, but it's sort of a failure in every other aspect, particularly the decision-making aspect. If you want to go tattoo for tattoo, Ethan, we can do that. You want to keep it to other things? We can. I'll give you that option. Ethan also talks about the potential CTE that I might have after boxing.
Yes.
Ethan, your whole system is scrambled.
No, your brain is scrambled from getting punched in the face too many times because you don't understand the situation. Some people are saying the CTE is starting to take effect, I guess. That would be comforting if there was some explanation, at least.
Any amount of CTE that I may have endured after doing 2 boxing matches, I'm going to say is preferred over having to share the load of doing 50 jumping jacks with my wife.
Yeah, what if we we'll both do 25 at once?
Do 25 each? Or
oh my goodness.
Great form by both.
Really nice. They must work out.
Also, why are you talking about CTE at all? Like, you...
Well, I'm so sorry. I didn't understand this at all. Wait.
comforting if there was some explanation at least.
Any amount of CTE that I may have endured after doing 2 boxing matches, I'm going to say is preferred over having to share the load of doing 50 jumping jacks with my wife.
What if we do both? We'll both do.
It must be. Maybe it is CTE. Actually, I don't.
25 at once.
25 each.
Oh my goodness.
Great form by
Yeah,
both.
really nice. They must work out.
Also,
He's making fun of him for being out of shape. Oh, okay. I mean, it's not really like the same type of insult, though, right? Like if you tell somebody like, "Hey, I think you might actually be mentally retarded. Like I think you're actually brain damaged," and the guy's response is like, "Okay, yeah, well, I think you're fat." It's like, okay. Okay, I guess.
So why are you talking about CTE at all? Like, you've continually illustrated that you can't keep track of anything.
It came up because they were talking about it on their fucking podcast. By the way, they're the ones that like started this conversation by talking about it on the podcast. Be like, hey, I'm not getting involved.
I think that was their response after you guys initially called them out.
He can't even keep straight who attacked who first. He thinks that our podcast where we're expressing sympathy for him and Hila was the impetus for him talking shit about us. I much prefer boxing-induced CTE than harassment-induced CTE. Ethan acts like we're such great friends and that like he shared such intimate moments with me, but it's all horseshit. He's lying. Like the whole thing is a fucking lie. He's manipulating his audience. We did not have a close relationship.
You guys were buddies for a long time.
He texted me like one time like, hey dude, we should talk this out. And I was like, I don't feel like having this conversation right now. That's it. So Ian kept trying to get me on the phone or text with me. And I told him, dude, honestly, I don't feel like having this conversation right now.
Okay.
Fair, right? I just didn't want to do it. Okay?
Just in that particular moment,
and then
or like at all?
Well, it turns out I didn't want to talk to him at all.
Okay.
If the relationship was that close, you would have talked to me on the phone. You wouldn't have shit-talked me. You would be...
Well, didn't Ethan end up saying that the reason why he ended up not talking to him at all was because it seemed like the conversation just wasn't going to be productive? Because Ian was saying something like, I feel like I remember this from the content thing, that he said something like, the way that Ian was texting, he wasn't going to concede anything, or he was just going to tell Ethan to get help or something. Basically, that's what it sounded like, I think.
Curious where my brain was at and where I was coming from. There's this moment in the Content Cop where I'm trying to give an example of the cycle of harassment. Have you ever been in a comment section and found someone to argue with? It doesn't stop. It can literally go on forever if you don't want to touch grass.
I mean, yeah, this was kind of... Okay, what does that have to do with me?
I don't know.
Are you okay?
Ethan and Hila act like they have no idea what I'm talking about here. So, I mean, maybe they don't. It's a very obvious and easy to digest point. That's why I made it that way. I'm going to explain it here so everyone on the internet understands. When you have a podcast where you are constantly emotionally dumping and saying things just off the top of your head, and you're attacking other people randomly, maybe from your perspective it's not attacking. Maybe you're just commenting on someone else's situation.
He's got to be one of the most visually repulsive people. FaZe Banks, like, in my opinion...
I know that he's not about to say every single thing that would apply very equally to Denims and Frogan and everybody else, right? Listen to what Ian just said here.
Dumping and saying things just off the top of your head, and you're attacking other people randomly. Maybe from your perspective it's not attacking. Maybe you're just commenting on someone else's situation.
He's got to be one of the most visually repulsive people. FaZe Banks, like, in my opinion, he's somewhat repulsive to look at.
And being
pedophile. Pirate Software was like weird about it. It's like, look at my old voice, it's so lame. What an obnoxious loser. She goes, I can't believe these people are so obnoxious. And he looks like an idiot who's obsessed with me, dude.
But what happens when other people comment on your situation? It doesn't feel too good, does it?
But he's like, no, actually, Ethan, the fucking Jew bag. Fuck this Jew bag Zionist baby killer, guys, right?
I don't know if that's what the video is.
These are unironically like gamer bro or frat boy recycled arguments about racism or misogyny. Like, I play online games and people call me, you know, a fag all the time. Why can't I call you the N-word? Come on, bro. Like, we all get harassed. Like, I should be able to call black people the N-word because I play online and I get called names all the time. Like, it's not really the same thing, bro. Like, what are we talking about? Hello?
That is the back and forth I'm describing. You might have thought we were just saying that Ian and Anissa are bad friends. Well, guess what? We didn't take it that way.
Our POV is like, fuck everybody, and I don't want to hear any excuses. You're not my friend, and you never were, and you never will be. You never will be.
What we took it as is Ethan and Neil are shit-talking us. They just implied that we are okay with people using CPS as harassment, and now all of their fans are brigading us. So I am going to respond in kind and make a content cop. So yes, that is what the cycle of harassment looks like.
Okay, what does that have to do with me?
I don't know.
How about you fucking Nazis? How about that?
You might think that all of the harassment you're getting has everything to do with your politics and your idea of Israel-Palestine.
It does.
But a lot of my gripes were centered around you dragging me into your shit. You know, you knew that you were going through a lot, and you were saying, I'm hurting, I'm now going to make them hurt because they're not putting their head on the chopping block. Fuck you, you're a piece of shit. I'm sure there's anti-Semitic people that are attacking you guys, but they're not me, they're not Anissa. It's not Hassan, it's not all of these other creators that you're attacking. You're not the biggest victim on the internet, Ethan. Other people can experience a horrible fucking time. And guess what? They're not...
Also, can I just say who the most snake fuck person is out of this entire situation? Holy fuck. The most snake fuck out of this entire situation is fucking Hassan. I don't know if Ian has any idea what the fuck he stumbled into in all of this, okay? But Ian comes out, makes this whole ass retarded fucking video, okay, trying to give cover to Hassan and all of his cringe fucking lefty LARPer loser friends. And then when Hassan is tasked with defending it to Ethan, Hassan is like, oh, I don't know. I don't speak for the content cop, or I can't do anything. I'm not going to defend that. Or I was like, damn. Hassan throws Ian under the bus in record time because he saw how lackluster the reception was. Unbelievably fucking snake clout obsessed behavior. Holy shit.
Getting this other benefit, which is
he basically used Ian as like a fucking J-dam, and then when it missed, he's like, oh, I didn't do it. Like, unironically, it was like fuck.
Light yuck.
It's the end when he tells the guy to come in, and Kira's like,
you didn't realize.
Kira's like, I don't know that guy. That was Ian. I'm not gonna be able to find it. Pretend I found the reference immediately and it was sick, okay?
It's a horrible fucking time. And guess what? They're not getting this other benefit, which is 26,000 viewers. You're getting a lot of money and a lot of content, a lot of things that you care about from these beefs and from this harassment. There are a lot of people that you've just bullied.
What?
26,000 viewers, you're getting a lot of money and a lot of content, a lot of things that you care about from these beefs and from this harassment. There are a lot of people that you've just...
I love how he puts harassment in quotes for Ethan. When Ethan gets it, it's like LOL harassment. But when it happens to, one of the MLs, one of the lefties, one of the pro-pallies, it's real harassment.
Bullied, and they have nothing to gain out of it. Frogan isn't making a bag from this. She's not getting content out of this.
She literally has made content out of this, a ton of it. What are you talking about? What?
You're attacking her in relentless ways and endorsing so much worse harassment than what even you send her way.
What? So much worse harassment? Like what? Frogan literally inserted herself into all of this. What are you talking about?
The shit he said and posted about Frogan over the past years is like insanely nasty shit.
Yeah.
Worse than anyone I've seen. If this is true, absolutely mind-blowing, insane shit.
Hold on. It's not worse than anything you've seen. How could it be worse than anything you've seen?
Literally, no. I guess
he was
not.
very nasty. Well, I'm just saying, people like fucking want to like get lay down and fucking like.
I'm talking about specifically against Frogan.
But like he called her fat, right, and ugly, which is horrifically mean. I get called a fucking baby killer.
I was talking specifically about
That's way
Frogan.
worse than being called fat and ugly, in my opinion.
It's true.
Also, on top of Ethan and Neela constantly victimizing themselves, I did notice that as soon as we didn't immediately jump to Ethan and Neela's defense, Ethan took that to heart and he started to make that his employees' problems. Instead of just...
Make it his employees' problems. They all do a show together. What are you talking about?
sucking it up and taking it on himself, he decided to imply that Lena is going to have a problem with that.
A lot of this has ramifications for the crew. The way that they have it set up is basically if Lena were to drop out, she would lose, like, she would have to pay back like $25,000 or something like insane. And besides that, which I told her I would cover if she wanted to drop out, she's been working really hard. And just because I'm having an issue with what's going on here.
You bringing up Lena dropping out of the fight was you publicly showing to your fans, like, I don't approve of this. You were saying this shit before the content cop even came out.
Which I told her I would cover if she wanted to drop out.
But now you are saying that you didn't have a problem with any of it until I made the video.
I was totally on board until the organizer put out a video calling me a psycho.
That's totally normal. What do you were okay until I put out a video that was co-signing all of the most insane and unhinged attacks against you, and I'm the lead organizer of the event? Yeah, no shit.
Path, right, harassing his friend.
Obviously, Ethan and Neela will victimize themselves every chance they get. But when they have the chance to victimize someone else who's on their crew, they'll also do that.
You already forced Lena into this horrible situation. And again, you forced this situation on her.
Forgot to care about Lena.
Why would I do such a thing to Lena? Dude, you have as much agency as I do. You didn't have to badmouth me on your podcast. That was a choice that you made.
So go fuck yourself.
I agree. My good fucking friends who I stood by after all these fucking years can't find a spine to speak up.
Oh, the organizers of this event are not jumping to my defense? All right, well, maybe instead of shit-talking them, maybe I should zip it.
So go fuck yourself.
I agree. You already forced Lena into this horrible situation. And again, you forced this situation on her. By the way, iDubbbz, Lena's fucking having a panic attack.
So go fuck yourself.
I agree.
But you're just lobbing it to me and Anissa. I'm lobbing it back to you. You're the one who brought it up. If you lob it back to me and you say, well, I didn't have your back publicly. Well, fuck you. I'm going to lob it back and say, you're being irresponsible on your podcast and you're not taking any accountability for the shit you're putting out online. I think that's going to do it for this video. There's a lot more that I can share, but I'll save that for the future. And in closing, I will reiterate so that, there's no ambiguity about it. Anissa and I are no longer involved in Creator Clash. We're stepping down completely. We hope that the event is
I'm sure that it's going to definitely be successful now that you've had some of the largest talent, one of your headliners, by the way, dropped from the event, Harvey Weinstein, and now that you guys are like obviously the most popular people associated with it, now you're stepping down from the event. Like, Jesus.
Massive success this year. We hope that all of the fighters get what they wanted out of it. I'm sorry that I'm such a fucking nasty person who just wants to roll around in the shit. I'll put the link to Creator Clash down in the description if you want to support them in their mission to get creators to fight and raise money for charity. You can do that down there. I will...
Sorry, Harley, not Harvey, my bad. Fuck names, okay?
Be doing that on my own, and I hope you guys...
By the way, when that Creator Clash event fails, they will 1 trillion% be blaming Ethan and all of them for it. 100 billion trillion%.
Have a good time. Also,
iDubbbz is trying to make money for himself and Creator Clash, right? I think their intentions are good with Creator Clash. I'm not going to be unhinged like Hassan and all these retards and claim that everything they're doing is horrible and evil and whatever, but...
So for all the people who touch grass, I want to remind you to click the like button on this video, not so it goes in your algorithm or anything, just specifically so that we can add a counter narrative or I can get an idea of how much astroturfing is out there, because I know that a lot of these fuckers, they love their dislike button extensions. And I saw that shit and I was like, what the fuck? These are all like fabricated numbers. The like-dislike ratio was like 80-20 on my video, and then they tried to create a narrative of like, no, people actually hate this content cop, guys. It's actually so much worse. Like, bitch, like, people were more upset with, like, my wife being on OnlyFans. You're not gonna convince the internet that fucking Ethan Klein isn't being a piece of shit. Like, sorry, guys. It doesn't matter how many dislike extensions you have.
We can free Palestine without being a Nazi, okay? Yeah, fuck you guys too, okay? How about you fucking Nazis? How about that?
It's blatantly and obviously fucking disingenuous. This shit blew my fucking mind. Like, this is fucking insane. And, like, dangerous. He is going out of his way to slander you as a neo-Nazi. Like, that can get you hurt.
Okay. Well, that was good. Cancer. Jeffrey speaking soon. All right. The true memes. Are you gonna watch the big Peace debate tonight? Who's he debating? Are you gonna watch the Shapiro-Zelensky interview at some point? No. I watched the first half and it was really boring. Although I guess if Ben is getting educated on basic facts about Ukraine, Russia that he could have learned with the 20-minute glance of the wiki, then good for Ben Shapiro, I guess. What happened with the Andrew Wilson debate? I don't want to say anything unless Andrew Wilson has spoken about it, I guess, because I don't want to like do fake news, or I mean, I don't want to misrepresent anything. But from what I'm told, apparently he dropped out. Oh, the Will Chamberlain debate is tonight. Oh, for sure. Dude, I don't know where the country goes after this fucking administration. It needs so much healing. It's not right though that like conservatives could just act like this and then in a few years we're all expected to like go back and pretend that none of this ever happened. This is just like email from my mom 44 minutes ago. It's a picture. It says, cocaine was found at Biden's house. A dead body was found at Obama's house. A male prostitute was found at Pelosi's house. An illegal server was found at Clinton's house. So the FBI raided Trump's house. Good one.
Language. Questions to their fellow rivalries. Hello, everyone.
Can it be that judges Trump truthed? Can it be that judges aren't allowing the USA to deport criminals, including murderers, out of our country and back to where they came from? If this is so, our country's note is finished. Americans will have to get used to a very different crime-filled life. This is not what our founders had in mind. Somebody linked this and said they're preparing to ignore the courts. That sounds to me like they're complying with the courts and they're doing it begrudgingly and they're upset. I don't think that they'll fight against the courts now. For a dictator like Trump, all of his power comes from, God, we're so fucking lucky. We're so lucky. He's so stupid. All of Trump's power comes from his popular support. And remember, he came in just barely on that 50% approval mark. No, I shouldn't even say that. I'm sorry. It wasn't 50% approval. I think it was less than that. Right? I think he might have come in at the most unpopular. Fuck, where is that one thing? Popularity of president's first 100 days. Jesus. Clinton was 55, Bush 2, 62, Obama was 65, Trump was 41, Trump won, and then Biden was 57, and then Trump 2 is 44 in the first 100 days. He doesn't have the popular support. Dictators need some level of popular support in order to do what they're doing. Otherwise, they can't, right? Even though we say like a dictator, rules on his own, and a democracy, rules by the people, even monarchs to some extent do need support from the people. Just sometimes it's different classes of people, so maybe more oligarch focused or maybe more wealth focused. Sometimes it's a lot of people if it's like a popular coup or revolution or something, But Trump needs his popular support, and they just haven't been acting in ways that would give them that support. He's very, very, very bad at what he does. I'll just say that, yeah.
I want to welcome everyone and thank you for taking the time to be with us. My name is Frank Reese. I am the Congressman Dr. Raul Reese District Director. And I have a few ground rules this morning. One, we ask that everyone be polite and respectful to their fellow attendees.
Steering and Policy Town Hall in Southern California.
Repeatedly disruptive attendees will be asked to leave. You will be given one warning. Please silence your phones.
I agree they need popular support, but Trump believes he has the popular support, just like he was adamant that Abrego Garcia has MS-13 tattoos on his hand. I don't know if Trump thinks he does have popular support right now. I think he's gotten enough pushback in different areas, both like popularly. So, you've got like all of your polling coming up on the midterms and Republicans that are being told not to attend town halls. Then you've got like the numbers, you've got the stock market, you've got the international numbers like the treasury bond market. I don't know if Trump can delude himself into thinking right now that he has the support broadly of enough people to be a dictator. So,
no hate or personal attacks, and please refrain from foul language. Questions will be randomly selected by raffle tickets to ensure that we try and capture as many questions as possible. Questions will be pulled from the mix of the RSVPs plus the raffle tickets. Top questions submitted through the RSVP forms will be answered. Questions will be randomly selected by the raffle ticket as well.
Are you still doing the pirate video? Yeah, I will. I don't know if this is going to be relevant. Do we care about this or?
Please keep your questions under 1 minute. If you need to exit, there are 2 exit doors. And if you need to use the restrooms, you can go out and they are to your right, men and women. I also want to invite you all to please stand up and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Gentlemen, please remove your hats and please everyone face our American flag. Placing your hand over your heart, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may take a seat. And now it is my honor to introduce a man that has committed his life in the service of others. First, as a physician, and second, as a member of the United States Congress. I want to introduce you. Please help me to welcome Dr. Raul Reese.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. As you know, I'm Congressman Dr. Raul Ruiz, and it's an honor to represent you in Washington, D.C. in the House of Representatives. Welcome to the launch of the Steering and Policies Committee's Town Halls. And I am so thrilled to see so many of you here, eager to engage in important conversations about what's happening in our world today and how you can be a part of the change that we need. So thank you for taking the time and coming to this Town Halls. I would also like to extend a heartfelt thank you to Rancho Mirage High
I'm going to
School.
grab a Red Bull and then we'll just watch the Pirates Opera video. Unless something happens here.
What
We
an
care
amazing
about. I
rural
don't think we will.
lifelines.
1 second.
For instance, over 80 million Americans, 42% of my constituents in District 25, including low-income seniors, children with disabilities, and working parents, rely on Medicaid, or our version here, Medi-Cal, to provide essential care that they simply cannot afford to lose it. We must put people first. We must protect Medicaid. So let's build this system.
Okay. Don't care. Maybe we'll watch this Mama Max video too. I don't know.
Welcome to another Healthy Gamer GG stream. My name is Dr. Alok Kanoja. Just a reminder that although I am a medical doctor, nothing I discuss on stream today is intended to be taken as medical advice. Everything is for educational and entertainment purposes only. If y'all have a medical concern or question, please go see a licensed professional. So today we're going to be talking with Thor, Pirate Software. And I understand, I don't know the details, chat, but I understand that there has been some drama I saw that there was drama. I don't know exactly what's going on, but I think we're going to be talking some about that. I mean, I don't know exactly what we're going to be talking about. We're going to talk about whatever Thor wants to talk about and whatever I feel like talking about. But I think that there's been some stuff that's been going on. And it kind of feels like one of these like elephant in the room situations where if we just like pretend nothing happened, it feels like super awkward. But I don't know. I don't know, to be honest. Like, I don't really follow like streamer drama very much. But yeah, whatever happens. So we're going to see. We're going to just talk. So I really enjoy talking to Thor. We've talked to him a couple of times before. It's usually been a great conversation that people have enjoyed. I understand that a lot of people are unhappy with him, more unhappy. So we're going to just figure out what's up with that. As always, we are, we try to be like compassionate and understanding. That doesn't necessarily mean we're non-judgmental, right? So that's not one of our key values, but our values are to be authentic and compassionate and recognize that like, people sometimes struggle, sometimes make mistakes, sometimes have stuff going on. So we try to be as like understanding of that as we can. And
Oklahoma just passed social studies standards that include 2020 election conspiracy theories and assertions that COVID came from a Chinese lab. What do I do? Is it homeschooling time or what? Good luck. Somebody needs to, dude. My predictions have been on point the past year, okay? I said this, right? Remember that as unhinged as all of the crazy shit that's going on is, like, remember that in the future, your kids or your grandkids or whatever, there are going to be kids in your child's classroom who are going to be learning from their parents that the 2020 election results were fake. I said that would happen, and it will happen.
And I'd ask y'all to be, like, as understanding as you can. And before we hop in with Thor, and we just do that for everybody, right? It's not like he's getting special treatment. That's just what we do here. So we've added, we have a quick update to our Mental Health Awareness Month calendar. So I'm going to just show you all this real quick. So we did Mr. Who's the Boss yesterday. Really loved that stream. Thor, Pirate Software is today. We're adding one memberships lecture for those of you that don't know, in October 2023, we started HG memberships, which are like deep dives into a lot of topics that people in the community want. So things like ego, discipline, emotions, stuff like that. And these are usually things that would not work very well on the algorithm. So I don't know if this kind of makes sense, but like if you look at YouTube, not everyone or very few people are looking for like people who are really wanting to understand a topic very deeply and or like really want to get into it and understand it at a high level. Those videos sometimes don't perform well, right? So if you look at like what performs well, it's usually like 8 to 12 minute segments on something. So you can
Wait, is this really the best way to get legendary tungsten? I have to recycle fucking underground ramps? There must be a better way to do this.
Look at channels like the most successful channels on YouTube, like Kurt Saget's, which is an awesome channel. They make like roughly 10-minute videos. So if you'll want deep dives into topics, we're going to be focusing on how to build a social circle, deep dive into resilience. And the addition that we have is breaking through overwhelm with Dr. Ali Matu. So Ali Matu is also he's a psychologist, YouTube creator who specializes in anxiety disorders. We've gotten really positive feedback about him. So that's going to be this Thursday. And then as usual, we have plenty of content over just regular content that we've got stacked. So we've got interviews every Thursday. And then on Fridays, we're going to be doing like more traditional HG streams, which can also be like deep dives into stuff. But the World on Fire stream next Friday is going to be all about, okay, so like there's a lot of stuff going wrong in the world today. How do we manage? How do we cope? How do we thrive even? Apparently there's like, people have been preparing voicemails for me to answer. There's going to be a debunking terrible relationship advice. And then this is one of my favorite ideas. We'll see how this goes. Maybe this will be a mess. But Doctor versus AI.
Wow.
Which we'll share more details about later. A couple of other quick announcements before we hop in. We have an awesome community challenge going on right now in May. So we usually do this like every May where we'll have like a pretty big community challenge. And so this one is pretty cool. So it's in case of crash out, break glass. So it's actually like a resilience challenge. So the whole point of this month's community challenge, which y'all can, it's absolutely free. Y'all can join on Discord. Is we're going to do like, in case of emergency, break the glass. So in case of the world falling apart, like what are the skills that you need to develop? How do you cope? So there's going to be a community challenge where people will like, will give you all tasks and stuff like that. In the past, we've done things like touch grass challenges, which was awesome, which is like people going out and like doing things in the world. So things like meditating in a park, like meeting up with friends. One of my favorite things from, I think the touch grass challenge was like making a fresh beverage with like some kind of juice. So like people would make like smoothies and stuff like that. So it's just like, it's basically an excuse for y'all to do the things that you should be doing kind of made in a gamified format that's like fun for all of us to do together. So y'all should definitely check that out. And then another kind of quick, really quick kind of interesting announcement. So I know this is going to sound kind of weird, but sometimes we here at Healthy Gamer do things that are not streaming. And I know that sounds weird. It's like, oh my God, how are we, why are we doing things besides streaming? Why aren't we just like streaming content all the time? Just stream more. So I know it's crazy, but we believe that managing the mental health crisis that we're living in today may require a little bit more than watching things on the internet. So about 5 years ago, we developed a coaching program. Our initial pilot study of the coaching program was like 1,500 people, showed really great outcomes. It's something that we talk about quite a bit. Some of y'all are tired about hearing about it, but the reason that we do it and the reason that we do many of the things that we do, like, so this past year we advocated for like $2 billion. So we went to Washington, D.C. and advocated for $2 billion of additional funding for training an addiction workforce. So we realized like, hey, like addiction is a problem.
Wait, did you say $2 billion?
So this past year we advocated for like $2 billion.
Damn.
So we went to Washington, D.C. and advocated for $2 billion of additional funding for training an addiction workforce. So we realized like, hey, like addiction is a problem. And can Dr. K make videos about it on the internet? Absolutely. But sometimes videos on the internet may not be as effective or may not be sufficiently effective as going to the federal government of the United States and saying like, hey, we need like, it's hard to find a therapist. Therapists are incredibly expensive. They have really long wait times. People are struggling with addiction. Can y'all please give $2 billion for the training of an additional addiction workforce?
Okay.
So we do a lot of stuff at Healthy Gamer, and we developed this coaching program. Coaching works great. We believe in coaching because it's using the peer support model and stuff like that. It basically is working with someone to help you figure out appropriate goals, achieve those goals in a like limited time period. That's really the big advantage. So if you're on the DIY track, the problem is we procrastinate. The key thing about coaching, though, that we're super excited about now is that we have gotten our curriculum certified. So I want to just show you all. So this is coaching. So if you guys have questions about coaching, we've got info here. But we started something called the Healthy Gamer Institute. So that's where like, people will sometimes ask us, hey, where can we find a therapist like you, Dr. K? Or people will say, hey, I struggle a lot with video game addiction or pornography addiction. I went to see a therapist and they didn't understand what I was talking about. So we started the HE Institute maybe a couple of years ago. It's like, this is like IRL stuff, so it moves slowly. So, and then we actually have recently gotten our coaching program certified by...
Okay. At 8 o'clock tonight, we will be calling and talking to Z from the Zimmer drama as well. Good luck.
NBHWC, which is like the National Board of Health and Wellness Coaching. So this means that like, there's a certain, because like basically anyone, we don't have to get too much into this, but like basically anyone can do coaching. It's not like a licensed profession. So how do you determine whether the coach that you have is like a good coach or just someone who just says they're a coach? So that's what some of these third-party certification programs are about, and we actually just got awarded the certification, which is great. So that basically means it's like someone has looked at our curriculum and said, hey, like you guys have, your curriculum meets the minimum requirement to like be good. So it's a good thing. I know it's kind of outside of people's scope, but anyway, just wanted to share that with y'all. If y'all are interested in becoming a coach, by the way, like learning coaching, y'all can sign up. I think HGI will start having cohorts soon, so y'all can sign up over there if y'all want to like learn coaching. So let's hop in with the Warlord.
Let's hop.
Okay. Let me see where.
Oh no! Wait. Real quick, we're gonna read this also real quick. Uh-oh, that's crazy. From the Dean drama stuff, yes. From Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, the lady who believes in Jewish space lasers. I represent the base, and when I'm frustrated and upset over the direction of things, you better be clear. The base is not happy. I campaigned for no more foreign wars, and now we are supposedly on the verge of going to war with Iran? I don't think we should be bombing foreign countries on behalf of other foreign countries, especially when they're fucking when they have their own nuclear weapons and massive military strength. And on top of that, now we are told that we have signed a deal for mineral rights in Ukraine in order to pay us back for the hundreds of billions of dollars that we gave Ukraine and they used for money laundering, sold the weapons we gave them to our enemies, and their leader's a dictator who canceled elections, was involved of the first impeachment of Trump and campaigned for Biden. Oh, by the way, didn't that mineral deal get signed for free? Did Zelensky art of the deal Trump? Hey, we're going to sign this deal if you give us $500 billion. And then Zelensky was like, no. And then Trump was like, how about for $0? And Zelensky was like, okay. Art of the deal. Didn't we learn our lesson when we went to war in Iraq and killed Saddam Hussein because of weapons of mass destruction? Did we ever find any? And did any of that oil over in the Middle East make us rich? The answer is no. We are $36 trillion in debt today. So why on earth would we go over and occupy Ukraine and spend an untold amount of money of future American taxpayer dollars defending and mining their minerals as well as potentially putting American lives at risk and future war? Why don't we just mine our own rare earths that are tied up on federal lands that the government confiscated years ago? I also campaign on accountability for the communist and tyrannical acts made by the government during COVID. Yet the COVID, okay, I don't care. Jeez, she's mad. But anyway, that end thing there. When you are losing Marjorie Taylor Greene, you are losing the base, and Trump isn't on the ballot in the future. So do the math on that. Oof.